And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Howdy folks, today we're taking a look at something I designed. These are the two new expansions for Nothing Personal. We have Power and Influence and Associates. These are two boxes here. They both just basically have a deck of cards. You can get rid of the boxes, put everything into the box that all fits if you take out the insert. I've done it. I am not going to comment on the game itself. This is not a review because it's my own. That would be kind of odd. So I'm not going to really comment on the component quality or the pricing or everything else or whether it's good or bad. I'll let other people trash my own stuff. But this, I want to show you it a little bit and tell you a little bit about some of the decisions we made when me and Steve Avery, my co-designer, put it together. Both sets come with a lot of gangsters. So many gangsters that you're really never going to be able to see them all, I guess. Probably in games you'll always be able to play with different ones. But what we did was we wanted to get a lot of different gangsters. So if you wanted to play a game with a lot of females in, for example, you can just look at the corner for the femme fatale symbol and stick those in the game, or shuffle those, put those on top of the deck. That way you can have a thematic flair, or maybe you want to play with the Russians, or maybe you just want to play with classic gangsters, and that's up to you. And so the symbols are on the bottom of the card for that purpose. In the Associates expansion, we added casinos. We wanted some people to be able to go to the casino, and so a lot of the different characters in this expansion can go to the casino. When you go to the casino, you pick either casino to go to. The black casino is like the safe casino. You roll a die, you can get up to $10, you might lose 3. The red casino is the super dangerous one where you can possibly die when going there, although if you can also get $15 in an influence card. So in my playings, most people go to the red casino, but occasionally they will go to the black one because they don't want to lose a character, because losing a character would be a big deal. And also remembering that people can pay $10 to make you re-roll the die, and they may want to see you die when you go to the casino. So you can see some characters here have the ability to visit a casino. By the way, you'll notice that pretty much almost every character in these expansions has some sort of special ability. So again, this is kind of like an advanced style game. So I'm just going to basically show you the different ones. I like these. They're the twins. Now the twins work best. I guess that would make more sense to show their pictures like this. The twins work best when they're together. They're a 5-5 when they're both on the board. So these are the kind that you would want to shuffle in. If you know, they're not so useful when you have 500 gangsters, but if you like shuffle them on the top of the deck, you're fine. Miss Daisy's one I like a lot because she's +6 to make a move action, which means she will be constantly making moves, which means she probably won't die. And this young lady is a tattletale. When she goes to prison, she can put 5 neutral influence on any gangster. So another person can go to casino. She's a goody two-shoes, cannot be blackmailed, which is pretty cool. We wanted to make the symbols on the die mean something. So here, if he rolls a specific symbol, the double guns, when he whacks someone, he can immediately move to their spot, which makes him a big deal. Rich Sum is really good because he can go to the casino and payouts are doubled, which could also be bad, I suppose. If you notice, we're in the Russians now. Will Vitsky here can whack somebody else, but $5 that he uses comes from somebody else. I love the theming of that. You use someone else's. Or Joker Jorge Garcia here has the possibility to use any positional power. This guy stops gangsters in the same tier. They can't attempt to whack other gangsters. And this guy here keeps people in his row. They're immune to being whacked. However, I still want to see people die. So here's another one where you can try to whack someone for 7. If you roll double guns, you whack anyone else, which can be hilarious, that last minute switch around. This guy, when he makes a move, if he rolls the ring, he kills the target that he's going after. So some more guys, and you'll notice that several of these people here can visit the casinos. This guy here, I like him a lot. His respect, you roll the number die and add 1. So his respect could be 7. It could also be 2. Either way, he's one that you'll see people fighting over. Same thing for her, except with money. Here's for someone else to give you one of their influence cards, and you pay them $3. Here's Santa Claus. Put 2 influence on any gangster that has no influence tokens. So he can get there and get people. This guy here has all 4 icons on him, but if there's 5 or more influence tokens on him, he goes to prison. But he's a 6/6. So you know people are going to fight over him, but the likelihood of him lasting more than one round is pretty high. Here's Joe Trusco. If he does not go to prison, everything comes off of him. So another one. Basically, I tried to think of, me and Steve were trying to think of cool powers, something that would just be entertaining. So this guy, everything comes off him all the time. He's clean. So every turn people are fighting over him anew until the one turn where he finally goes to jail. This guy can take 2 actions if he's the third guy, so he can do a double whacking if you have enough money. This guy, I just thought it was funny, the theming here. He never goes to prison. I mean, if he goes to prison, he just dies. And a few more casinos. This guy can use the special power of any gambler on the board. This guy can use the special power of any other con man on the board. So those are pretty neat. So I like having these new, again, there's a ton of them. And there's also other ones too from the other set here. This one here, Zev, you have to pay 3 for each influence you put on him. So you have to pay to put on him, which is interesting. This guy kills people on a successful move. Marco Zelinskaskini here can replace an influence on a black. He can basically take someone else's blackmail token. There's also a few small sets, like the promo sets that you can get. One has famous gangsters that may look like they've come from the movies and certainly are meant to be so. And some of them have some really cool special powers too. This guy, when he rolls to make a move die, he gets twice the money on the number rolled, but there's a chance that he will die. Gus here, his respect is basically equal to the position number he's in. So if he's in the capo position, he has a whopping 9 respect. That's crazy, and you will see certain people fight over him. This guy can only ever have 1 influence placed on him at a time. Little Paulie here, from our designer's mini expansion, gets 3 every time someone goes to prison. Here, you can roll the whack die. If you get a ring, you can whack the capo. That's craziness. That's really cool. He's like the sniper guy, but it might not work. Professor Nicholson here gets 5 for each blackmail token on the board. I wanted to make blackmail tokens worth more as time went by. So you can see, you might recognize some of these designers too. Now, there's also a Dice Tower pack, and these cards will be available through our website in a few weeks. So if you're interested in them, we'll also have them at Gen Con. And so we just picked some. This one's one of my favorite. He can use his positional action twice per turn. Really cool. And this Dirty Z Garcia here, his money is equal to the positional number, so he can be bringing in 9 if he wants to. This guy can whack someone for 13 and automatically succeeds. This guy can take off everyone else's influence off the person. This one here can collect respect by rolling the number die, but on the 3 or less gets nothing. So there's multiple things here that you can do, and I really enjoyed them. This Danny the King here, if the influence to control him is tied, the capo controls him, which is just an interesting, another idea we came up with. All right, that's enough with the gangsters. What else is included? Well, we have the Vendetta card. The Vendetta card is a card that Steve Avery came up with, and I like it a lot, and I use it pretty much every time, because first of all, I like to see people get killed. If you were in last place at the end of a round, you get the Vendetta card. And during the next turn, once, you get 1 free whacking attempt. So you just, you turn the card in and you can try to kill somebody. So it's got to be careful to that guy in last place. Got to stay, and it helps the person in last place. It's a little bit of a catch-up mechanism. There's also trait cards that come with this expansion. If you want to play with these, and this is something I don't play with all the time, but they do exist, where you can have like a special ability. You draw 2 at the beginning of the game. Some of them will give you a special ability. Some will give you points at the end of the game. This guy gets 3 points for everyone who's dead at the end of the game. This guy, whenever he makes a move successfully, he can take the action of the position he went to. This guy, whenever he influences associates, gets to put an extra one out. This guy can always re-roll an X. Here, this guy re-rolls only cost him $6 rather than the $10. This guy gets respect for every $5 at the end of the game. So there's several of these traits. These are going to change the game dramatically. So I don't know that people want to use them all the time, but if you want a special ability no one else has, these will definitely change that up. Now my favorite thing that I think we added was another whole pile of influence cards. These can be shuffled directly in with the rest of the influence cards, and you can, the distribution is the same, but after playing the game many, many times, we started noticing different patterns. We listened to feedback and just thought some things would be cool or stop maybe some dominant strategies. And one of the things we want to do was let other people do other things and just add influence. So we have one when you play it, you let someone else get 3 points, or you let someone remove an influence token, or you let someone put a blackmail token out, or you let someone else get $3, or you let someone else switch to influence tokens. And so this kind of, again, brings that negotiation aspect very strongly into the game. There's also just some cool things. This one, you can roll the number. There's some gambling type things. Roll the number die, and you can put 3 influence tokens or whatever number you rolled. Okay, so you can try that, or roll the number die, get money equal to double the number rolled, or roll the number die and put that many influence tokens on any gangster. It could be pretty good, or it could be just 1. Here, I want to do more with the ante, so there are many cards that automatically add 1 to the ante. There's one that you can reset the ante to 0. I've seen games where people play 40 ante on the last turn, and this could change everything. Or you can just discard this to avoid playing the ante 1 round. Here, the different ways to put out influence. Put out 3 on a con man, or 1 on first, second, and third guy. Here you can double the effect of an action during the crew phase. I really like the idea of doing an action twice. Here you can play to make a whack attempt automatically successful. This really gets a lot of screams and yells when it's played. Here you can play anytime to gain the respect and the money from any gangster you control. I want it now, not later. I wanted things with the associates. Here you can play 2 extra influence on an associate. There's several cards that do this, but there's also this card here which gets rid of all the associates. You got to be careful because that crazy guy's out there. Here you can, this is like a shield you put underneath a gangster, and if they're going to be whacked or made a move on or put in prison, you get rid of this card instead. Here you can keep someone from going to prison. But these cards, I'm very happy. There's at least 2 of them. You can play to cancel a card or power that removes a gangster from prison. You know those cards that let someone pull someone out of prison and stick them in a spot on the board? Well, now there's a chance to stop that. So you're very careful when breaking someone out of prison because it's a little bit more dangerous. Here you get a free whacking attempt on someone who tries to blackmail you. I wanted to do more with blackmailing. Blackmailing tokens will show up a little bit less when you include these new cards in, but I think they're more powerful too. Here you can allow someone to ignore blackmail, but here you can remove all tokens except yours from a gangster that you're blackmailing, or pick someone with a blackmail token on and send them to prison. So I like using these cards. These are something that I would include in every game. So for me personally, when using these expansions, I always will use the new influence cards, right? The Shuffle 'em in, big influence deck, lots of cool actions and reactions. I like that. The gangsters, I think I'd pick like, oh, I want to do these gangsters. So shuffle like maybe 20 gangsters we want to see in the game, shuffle them together, put them on top of the deck. I find that, or I mean, we can put everyone together in just one giant deck of gangsters. You'll never use them. Maybe put 40 gangsters out there. That's enough for any game. I mean, even a game where you're just killing people right and left, you probably won't go more than that. But I like those icons in the corner. So I'm like, let's play with the Russian gangsters today. Oh, let's do the femme fatale thing, or let's do Russian and femme fatale, or let's play with the gangsters from the designers, and whatever. Or just, we haven't seen this gangster for a while. Fine, throw him in the top 20 card, shuffle him in. He'll show up somewhere. And that's kind of how I play, so that we can see different cool gangsters each time. Anyhow, I hope that if you like Nothing Personal, I hope that you like this expansion, or these expansions. You can certainly check those out. Like I said, other people will probably review them and be harsher than me, but I'm biased. I'm the designer. Anyway, until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!
There.